Carrie Price, it doesn't look as if he's going to start off the year with the Montreal Canadiens, still recovering from whatever injury he may have going on. We know he had the knee and hip injuries to deal with in the offseason, hasn't skated all of training camp to this point. But I won't make the question completely about Carey Price here. We know how much he means to this team. But is there anyone else on this roster who, if the Canadiens lost long term, that would also be really bad? Name the Montreal Canadiens player outside of Carey Price who the Canadiens could be ill afford to have him be lost for a long term.
Jeff Petrie.
I like that answer.
With Shea Weber gone, Jeff Petrie is the undisputed number one defenseman on this team, with added responsibilities on the ice, with power play, 5-on-5, killing penalties, added responsibility off the ice, helping fill the leadership void. Shea Weber. Petrie has shown in the past that he can really step up his game when Weber's out injured for shorter periods of time. We'll find out if he can do it over a 2-game season. I think he can. I really like Jeff Petrie as a defenseman. I think he's a solid player. I think he's a solid individual off the ice and in the locker room also. So with Shea Weber gone for this season, with Joel Edmondson not looking like he's going to be ready to start the season, that's 2 of the 4 Clydesdales from last season who logged all the ice time. So they cannot afford to lose Jeff Petrie. They really can't. And it's going to be interesting to see how Dominic Ducharme and Luke Richardson manage Petrie's ice time this season. I don't think, he played 24 minutes a game last season. I imagine he'll be right around there. I don't think they can really go much more than that with him. Dominic Ducharme has said in training camp how it won't be like it was in the playoffs where he rides the top 4 guys. He realizes they got to have 3 sets of defense that he can put on the ice against anybody through an 82-game season. But if they lose Jeff Petrie, they have nobody to replace Jeff Petrie. There's nobody either calling up from the AHL or doing it. So if Jeff Petrie goes down, on top of the absence of Shea Weber, on top of Carey Price's situation, it'll be a season for the Canadiens.
I'm going to say Christian Dvorak, just because they finally now have a proven NHL centerman that's able to help out some of the younger guys who are learning that position to take on those kind of minutes. And especially when Jesperi Kotkaniemi was taken by the Carolina Hurricanes, that was kind of the question, who will fill this role as a centerman? And then Mark Bergevin went out there and pulled a great move to get Christian Dvorak with the Canadiens. So far, things have been looking well throughout the preseason. Hopefully his line can continue that chemistry, but he's going to be a guy you're going to count on quite a bit. And if he gets injured, then I think the Canadiens will be in a tough situation up front.
And I'm going to mention the fragility of the goaltending situation. If Jake Allen was to go down through injury, who's going to play goal for them? And with the games that they have and the tight schedule and everything that goes with it, if you don't have some stability in the nets, you got yourselves in big time trouble. And if Jake Allen goes down, we got ourselves in a real bad situation.
Yeah, and all these injuries, I mean, the Canadiens are back in their regular division, which is the best division in the NHL. It's going to be tough making the playoffs with everybody healthy. Starting the season with so many question marks and so many guys hurt. If the Canadiens get off to a bad start because of the injury, it's going to be really hard for them to make up ground and get back in the playoff race. And as Rick said, Jake Allen, I mean, with Carey Price's situation, if Jake Allen goes down, even if Carey Price comes back and he's healthy, like how many games can you realistically expect Carey Price to play this season coming off knee injury? So that's a good answer, Rick, Jake Allen, because he is a key guy also.
Yeah, well, I'm with you on that.
And Carey Price is always in the conversation because we don't know how this guy's body is going to hold up. I mean, he's 34 years old and he's had a lot of things that have gone on that we probably don't know about a lot of them. So when he comes back, how long is he going to stay healthy? Big question mark. And like I said, you've got to have somebody in the nets there that's going to build confidence and have the guys in front of them know that they can bail them out when things are getting tough. And if they don't have that, you've got trouble.
And you wonder how much Carey Price was playing on adrenaline during the playoffs last season, because that meniscus issue was there and the hip issue was there, similar to Shea Weber. Shea Weber played the best hockey he's played with the Canadiens, in my opinion, despite all those injuries he had. And I think both of them may have just been playing on adrenaline, which is something you can do through a playoff run. but I don't think you can do that over an 82-game season.
Yeah, Jess, I want to give you props for. Oh, go ahead, Rick. Sorry. Again, we're just
Sorry,
stepping on each other's toes, buddy.
No, that's okay.
Good.
I was just going to say about adrenaline. Playoff adrenaline. You just you're in a bubble, and you're on a mission, right? And those guys obviously were on a mission, but when it's all over with, there's a lot of things that show up and say, "Oh, geez, you know what? My shoulder, my back, my knee, my this and my that was beat up during that playoff run." But listen, you got some guys that are of concern, and we're hoping for good results, and obviously getting them in the lineup as long as possible.
Yeah, Jess, I wanted to just give you props for your answer on Christian Dvorak, because I think the center depth on the Montreal Canadiens, I mean, we talk about the goaltending situation. I think the center depth on this team is also a big question mark. I mean, Nick Suzuki is going to be pressed into some of the most intense duties as a center as he's ever experienced in his NHL career. Christian Dvorak is the most sure thing, no disrespect to Suzuki, he's the most sure thing as a center on this team right now. Jake Evans, a lot is being asked of him as the number 3 center. And to this point, can anyone come together on a concrete number 4? I don't know if anyone really can. If Mathieu Perreault ends up being the number 4 center, I don't necessarily see that as a good thing. So if Christian Dvorak goes down, you're looking at a situation where there's going to be more responsibility for Suzuki. Someone else might have to step into a center role that isn't necessarily accustomed to playing that role. I don't know if Canadiens fans want to see Jonathan Drouin pressed into the center role again. So yeah, Stu's shaking his head. So yeah, I think I really want to give you props for that answer as well, because the center depth on this team, it's also a fragile situation.
And Nick Suzuki, also another guy they can't afford to lose, right? But it's the same for every NHL team in the salary cap world. It's key guys go down. It's hard.
Yeah, the Canadiens just really have to hope that the injury bug is going to be left in the preseason and doesn't follow them into the regular season.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments section the answer to our question. If there was anyone else on the Montreal Canadiens who they could ill afford to lose, it could be everyone, because I think you could make a case for virtually everyone on the Montreal Canadiens. I mean, we almost just did. Subscribe to the YouTube channel Hockey Inside Out. Go to hockeyinsideout.com, because there's all the cool stuff hanging out there. Check out the comment sections on hockeyinsideout.com as well. There's some pretty interesting. It's a pretty interesting place, if you get what I mean. Also, the Hockey Inside Out newsletter, montrealgazette.com/newsletters. Subscribe. We're coming up to the start of the NHL regular season. You're going to want to stay up to date on everything Montreal Canadiens, and you can do that through the Hockey Inside Out newsletter.